Welcome to part 54 of Was I in a Cult? Quick recap. When I stopped going to church, some of my former church leaders decided to give me a call. But of course, I wasn't home and my grandparents answered the phone. And I think that some of them asked my grandfather how I was doing because they hadn't seen me in church. So then my grandparents had assumed that all the times that I was gone during the week that it was most likely because I was at church. So when they found out that I was not in church, they began to get just as curious as the church people of where I had actually been. Instead of asking me what I had been spending my time doing, my grandparents decided to snoop and go into my room and search for themselves. I was 21, but I was still living at home. I didn't have a job that was paying me enough to actually move out and get a place of my own. So yes, I get that, I'm living under their roof. I have to follow and obey their rules still. However, I still feel that as an adult, I should have some access to privacy and not feel like my privacy can be violated, and that my grandparents can just come into my room and go through all of my belongings without my knowledge. It's bad enough that they did that to me as a teenager, because a teenager still, I think, in my opinion, deserves to have some bit of privacy. Like, you shouldn't read your kids' diaries and things like that. I mean, it's just wrong. A child or a teen should have their own basic sense of privacy. I believe it's their right. But I was never allowed to have my door locked, and I had to make sure that I was always dressed, and I would remember trying to hurry up and dress really quickly when I was a teenager, because my grandparents could open the door at any time. Like, they didn't knock. I remember one time when my grandpa walked in on me when my door was closed, and I was yelling at him to, get out because I was getting dressed, and he was just like, "This is my house. I'll go into any room that I want to go into at any time, and I don't care whether you're getting dressed or not." I now can look back at that and see that it was abusive behavior. At the time, I was just like, you know what, I'm living under my grandparents' roof. It's true, they can do whatever they want to me in their house. I wasn't allowed to lock my bathroom door as an adult, even. I had never been able to lock any door in the house. They actually had taken the locks off of most doors. So my bedroom door didn't even have a lock. And at one point in time when I was a teenager and my grandfather had once caught me, I guess, sneaking out, he actually took the door off of my bedroom. So I was never allowed any privacy. So yeah, they both would walk in on me when I was changing, and it was normal. It was what my normal was. It's not normal for a teenager not to be able to get dressed privately. I don't think that's normal for any teenager. I don't think it's right. And when I look back, I'm repulsed at the fact that this was still going on when I was 21 years old. So I left off at the last episode where I came home from hanging out with Cynthia and found my grandmother on the floor in my drawers going through all of my things. Before I go into what happened with that, let me go back to the church for a minute. So a normal church wouldn't call your house and talk to someone else about you and address their concerns to someone that is not you. It's not normal church behavior. A normal church, they might call you and be like, "Hey, we miss you, whatever, whatever. And when, are you going to come to church this week? Blah, 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 blah. Or let me invite you to the next event," maybe, right? But if someone else answered the phone and you say, "Is Shannon there?" and they say no, be like, "Okay, can you leave a message for them that this is so-and-so, and can they call me back?" You don't pry into a person's life by telling the parents of that person that you're concerned about them and their well-being because they haven't been in church. That's super cult behavior. When they talked to my grandparents, they put stuff in my grandparents' head that because I wasn't going to church, something must seriously be wrong, because it's not like me to not attend church as much as I used to attend church, and that I must be doing something wrong if I'm not in church, that I've backslidden, and now I could be possibly potentially back on drugs, or potentially in a relationship that this supposed church doesn't approve of. Who has the right to do that? Who has the right to call your parents, the parents of an adult 21-year-old, and question what their life choices are? I mean, it's not okay. So basically, after the church scared my grandparents and made them think all kinds of things about me, they just freaked out, and my grandma started going through my stuff. And like I said, I caught her when I came home one day, and she was in my drawer, and I said, "What are you doing in my stuff?" And she was like, "I'm looking for your medical card." I'm like, "You're looking for my medical card? I mean, you didn't think that maybe I have it in my wallet? That maybe you should ask me if you need my medical card? Like, it's my medical card. Seriously?" That was just a lame excuse for her being in my drawer, probably looking for drugs or paperwork or letters or cards or something to show what I had been doing the last few months that I hadn't been in church. So imagine if you were in that situation. Like, would you be upset? I mean, I was pissed, right? So I'm like, you know what? This is ridiculous. I can't believe you're going through my things. I'm 21 years old. I'm an adult. This is crazy. And then I was so upset that I was like, you know what? I'm out of here. Like, this is ridiculous. I'm leaving. I'm going out, and I was thinking I was just going to go down the street to Starbucks and blow off some steam, right? Or something. So I start to walk down the hallway, and my grandmother gets in front of me and blocks me from leaving. She's standing there blocking me with her arms out, saying, "If you want to leave, you're going to have to go through me, and you're not going anywhere. You're staying right here." And I'm like trying to just talk to her calmly, and I'm like, "Grandma, look, I'm just going to go to Starbucks. Like, I just want to get out of the house because I'm a little upset right now." And she's like putting her fists up. Like, she literally put her fists up and was like, try to get by me. And she's like threatening me, right? Meanwhile, my grandfather is in the other room calling the police on me. So the police show up, and they're like, we've been told that you're getting violent with my grandmother and that you're a threat to her right now. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, she was putting her fists up to me and blocking me from leaving the house as an adult 21-year-old that just wanted to go to Starbucks. And I tell the police everything in a calm way. And I'm like, I didn't even know why they were being called. And then he tells me that I have to go with him. And I'm like, go with you where? And he's like, you just need to come with us. And I'm like, I did nothing wrong. Like, are you going to read me my rights? Like, never got my rights read to me. He's just like, come with me. If you don't want to come with me, like, I'll have to handcuff you. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll go with you. So he takes me to a drug rehab. Because my grandparents said I might be back on drugs. Instead of doing a quick drug test, again, I was taken to a facility and drugged by them and put in there for another 2 weeks. All because I wanted to leave the house and go to Starbucks because I was angry that my grandparents violated my privacy. And because my church decided to gossip with my grandparents about things and put stuff in their head that wasn't true. I'm out of time. More later. Bye.